This week's lineup covers everything from giant fish kingdoms to emotional support plans and tactical necromancy, all within 5 minutes. That's honestly impressive. Our first new announcement is called KingFish and made it onto our wishlists faster than you can read this game's genre mix, which is asymmetrical co-op roguelite city builder, by the way. This game is such an interesting mix, but what's even better is the way you and your player 2 cooperate. First, there is the city builder and strategy layer. One of you plays the king, who gathers building materials, fights off enemies, and cares for the villagers and their needs in the tiny kingdom that you are building. The other player is the fish, which actually is a giant leviathan that you build your new kingdom on. The fish has a more isometric and strategic view, plans the city layout, and manages production chains. But the combat part of the game is where it gets really cool. What we loved most about the first gameplay trailer is how both king and fish cooperate. You could say each one of them sees only half of the picture, and you really need each other to make it work. The fish plays more of a top-down roguelite with supportive abilities and a better overview over the battlefield. For the king, it's more of a third-person tower defense game. Kings fight directly in close combat, while the fish supports them with magic spells, heals, and crowd control. Another interesting layer are the unique villagers, some of which are inspired by tales and legends, just like Sir Lancelot, for example. Each of them comes with different and impactful perks. Some boost production rates, others deal more damage in battle. The game has you explore different new islands with each new run, all with randomized events and mechanics, so it's more about replayability than a linear campaign. We think that this gameplay combo, where each player has a different role but still needs their player too, is such a clever idea. KingFish is coming to PC on Steam with online co-op, and we can't wait to try it out. Now it's finally time for an adorable, cozy game again. My favorite. But don't say I didn't warn you, because BloomKeeper also includes some emotional damage. At least if you thought Pikmin was evil for having you watch in horror as your little friends are eaten by the boss monster. In BloomKeeper, your small sprouts are also not safe from dangers, but at least in the trailer it seems as if the worst thing that happens to them is being thrown by yourself or getting corrupted by dark powers. Anyway, BloomKeeper is an adorable co-op adventure that is clearly inspired by Pikmin. You play as nature spirits called the Guardians, tasked with bringing nature back to an island. On your journey, you befriend and collect adorable little plant creatures called Puiks. We already confirmed you can lose them along the way, so better be a good shepherd and watch out for them. The core gameplay revolves around guiding your little eco-friendly group through dangerous terrain. Together, you will solve small environmental puzzles and slowly reclaim the island. As you spread vegetation, gray and dead areas transform into forests and grasslands again, which honestly looks extremely satisfying in motion. But the corruption constantly pushes back, spreading through the map and turning reclaimed land dangerous again if you neglect it for too long. And that is where the game becomes more strategic than it first appears. Losing Puiks is not just a minor setback, because fallen ones can turn into corrupted creatures that spread the blight even faster. See, it's not just all cute and cozy, this is the emotional damage I was talking about. You better bring a reliable friend to cope with this. Fortunately, the game supports online co-op for up to 4 players. BloomKeeper launches September 16th on Steam, and there is already a free demo available right now. Guys, I know it has extraction in the name, but this seriously is not an extraction game, I promise. 33 Days Till Extraction is an upcoming top-down sci-fi shooter where you want to escape a hostile planet, but your space Uber apparently won't arrive for another 33 days. Until then, your squad is stuck hiding from military patrols during the day while scavenging the wasteland at night. We know it's for the plot and all, but honestly, we doubt those fancy Militech soldiers would have much trouble intercepting us at night as well. But hey, maybe they only get paid for day shifts. The game blends fast roguelike scavenge raids with exploration and base building in between. So every night run is about pushing deeper into the procedurally generated zones filled with unpredictable enemies, events, and rewards. So you better adapt your build to the planet's rules and gather as many supplies as possible while somehow making it back alive. Or not. That also seems perfectly acceptable here, since necromancy plays a pretty big role not only during fights, but also in situations where you kick the bucket yourself. Between missions, you return to your hideout to upgrade defenses, recruit survivors with unique traits, prepare for the next run, and of course, regularly bringing back Greg from the dead again. It feels a bit like Fallout Shelter, but instead of sitting inside a bunker, dusting off your Pip-Boy and squishing red roaches, you head outside to explore the wasteland yourself while having a blast. And not the nuclear kind, ideally. All without PvP, of course. The environment is tough enough already as it is. Instead, up to 4 players can play and progress the game together, combining different weapons, builds, and necromantic abilities, while trying to survive long enough for your space Uber to finally arrive. And if you're currently waiting for an Uber yourself, you can already kill some time with a free demo on Steam, with early access launching soon. Oh hey, a brand new MMO announcement! Let's see what we got here. Grim setting, fan service, some more fan service, and okay, yeah, this is Nexon, isn't it? You might remember them from Vindictus and their very questionable outfit choices in supposedly lore-accurate medieval settings. And there is usually a reason when cinematic trailers and gameplay reveals are shown almost a month apart. The same definitely applies to Embers of the Uncrowned, because after those cinematic shots, the gameplay reveal felt like time travel back into the late 2010s. We got everything. Stiff-looking combat, a housing system straight out of an old mobile MMO, the usual naming inconsistencies somehow happening within the same quest, and all that despite the heavy use of AI for pretty much everything. Honestly, the game even looks like it was supposed to launch on mobile first. It just apparently wasn't optimized enough. It is also advertised as an MMO while launching with a massive class roster of 3. And as a free-to-play title, some absolutely miserable monetization will probably be unavoidable. Now, don't get us wrong. We are not trying to be overly negative here. We would genuinely love to see a proper MMO succeed again. Something that brings back that nostalgic feeling from those early online worlds, where we all spent way too much time in. But this most likely isn't it. Not even close. The reception so far has also been very mixed. A playtest is coming soon though, so for now, we'll wait and see how this one turns out. Ravenswatch is getting a big free update on May 27, adding a new enemy faction, the Thieves, that can snatch your dream shards mid-fight if you get hit, with special hideout rooms that range from traps and curses to treasures and even magic mirrors that duplicate your items. There is also a new melody system that lets players combine musical effects for run-wide bonuses. And finally, after ages of asking, co-op players can now actually pause the game without needing a full diplomatic negotiation in voice chat. Others can resume after a short time to avoid getting stuck, while pauses are also limited per player in public games and matchmaking to prevent abuse. Marvel Rivals Season 8 launches on May 15th, And thanks to that, we found out that a giant red dinosaur had its own comic books in the 70s. Now, Devil Dinosaur joins the game as a new vanguard tank focused on bleeding enemies, knocking people around, and apparently mainly spouting lasers at people. He can even carry another hero, the Punisher, on his back during combat. And they call that Primal Punishment. I mean, hell yeah. The update also adds a new Archimax map, balance changes across multiple heroes, and enough dinosaur-themed cosmetics to make every 7-year-old very happy. Or me, I like dinosaurs. After more than 3 years in early access, Astro Colony is finally reaching version 1.0 on June the 2nd. The update focuses heavily on polishing the entire Space Factory experience with better visuals, more planet variety, improved building systems, and smoother automation mechanics. There is also a bigger focus on multiplayer stability now, which is probably good news for some of those ambitious mega factory builders among you. If you somehow still haven't tried V-Rising yet, for once, what are you doing? And also, Steam is giving you a chance to try it out for free until May 18th. In this survival game, you build the greatest vampire lord castle the world has ever seen. And sometimes you even manage to go outside and hunt down some epic bosses. And if you're looking for something more couch-oriented, Thunderfolk is currently free to keep on the Epic Game Store until May 21st. This co-op RPG mixes tabletop-style combat with smartphone controller mechanics. It's perfect for your next game night, even with friends who aren't traditional gamers. Yet. But that's it for this week. We wish you tons of fun in co-op with your favorite people, and we will see you again in the next one.